A Tale of Two Cities continues as our group arrives at the Abdulaziz Airport in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Exhausted but anticipating the long-awaited opportunity to perform Umrah, the group will begin a hectic schedule. The Shabab Center of Toronto has coordinated a program that includes performing Umrah, trips to religiously significant sites, educational trainings from Islamic scholars, and time to relax. We will follow our group in real time, including moments of profound spiritual reactions and moments of joy, frustration, and excitement. The participants were filmed candidly and in our ongoing series reality format. The clothing they are wearing, the two unseamed white cloth and unseamed shoes or sandals, are obligatory in performing the Umrah. The group has already purified themselves in intention, prescribed washing, and in cutting their hair and nails. They are now ready to enter the Ihram or sacred area for religious pilgrims. During this time, the concentration is on one's spiritual goals, and the normal activities of everyday life will be suspended to attain a deeper level of religious submission.
It's different, huh? Wow.
Chaz, one of our group members, shares his deepest emotions. No cameras are permitted while the faithful perform the Umrah, as this is a sacred act. Chaz, after performing Umrah at Mecca, shares his emotions.
It's really hard for me to put it into words. I mean, just the trip right from the beginning, coming off the plane, and just at the airport itself, right when we walked out, you notice right away that it's a totally different atmosphere, and it's an amazing feeling. And it was emotional right from the very beginning. And then driving over here, once we entered into the Haram area, it's just like something came over your body. It was unbelievable. And then once I actually got the chance to walk through the masjid doors, Masjid Haram, and walked down with my friend, and he just told me, keep your eyes down until I tell you. And as we kept on walking, got closer to the Kaaba, and he told me, look up. And I looked up, and the feeling was just overwhelming. It was unbelievable. I was speechless. I couldn't say anything and just stared at it probably for about a minute or so. And the emotions were just going all through my body. And as I got a chance to walk around the Kaaba doing our tawaf, it was just a lot of emotions. You couldn't really control the tears, and it was just an amazing feeling. I loved every second of it, alhamdulillah.
The others to see the rain.
Bakr, Ali, come look at the rain. It's raining outside. Wallah, it's raining. It's raining outside.
I've never ever seen it rain.
Check it out. They said it rains like once every 3 months in the summer.
So can we go now?
Look at the kid. Look at the kid.
Oh.
Huh? Let me slide it.
Can we go?
No.
For Maghrib we're going.
Look at the bird.
Maghrib we're going to pray.
Yeah, that's crazy. Look at the kids.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. It's raining outside. Huh?
Never rain.
At the center, our group, most of whom have never before experienced seeing the most sacred of all Islamic sites, quietly ponder the monumentous experience.
Once I prayed now, it's rain. So is it rain?
Look at the kids. Look at the kids. They come and slide.
Here, they read the Holy Quran and will hear the religious knowledge from Sheikh Isam and an English translation by Sheikh Ibrahim.
Right in the middle.
It's harm between anything that harms your body. Anything that harms your body is harm. That's what we're saying. So when you eat McDonald's, if you eat McDonald's for 1 month, it's going to harm your body. But at the end, McDonald's in the long run is harm. Yes.
It says yes.
Haram.
No, but it's a habit. You smoke or not? It's a habit. Smoking, you smoke or not? There's no answer. You know what? But
No, it's a gift. Why?
because it's an addiction. It's a thing that based on that person.
The instructive lectures on the nature of Islam is part of the many forums of knowledge our group will attend.
As the Messenger ﷺ said in the hadith, I have left behind me two things, that if you hold fast to them, you will never go astray. The Book of Allah and the Sunnah of the Messenger ﷺ. And I want you to pay lots of attention to the practical aspect, not only to the words that are uttered. The Book of Allah and the Sunnah of the Messenger ﷺ. We understand from the hadith that if we are close to the Book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Sunnah of the Messenger ﷺ, then we are guided. We can measure how guided we are. or how misguided we are, according to the Book of Allah and the Sunnah of the Messenger ﷺ. Each one of us has his own misguidance. As much as he is away from the Book of Allah and from the Sunnah of the Messenger ﷺ. Are you close to the Book of Allah and the Sunnah of the Messenger ﷺ? Then you are close to the straight path. You could always measure yourself according to this rule. That's the cornerstone, is to take from the Book of Allah and the Sunnah of the Messenger ﷺ. I will start with some incidents, some short incidents from the life of the Messenger ﷺ. In simple terms, we will not go into the details, because we need to understand this Islam, this religion, the simple religion, the beautiful religion, as it came, the religion of nature, the religion of simplicity, the religion of love and brotherhood amongst all mankind. If we take out all the things that were added to this religion of our desires, of the lusts of people, then we will find it a beautiful religion. And it could be implemented simply, as the Messenger ﷺ implemented and practiced Islam simply, without any exaggeration. Therefore, the life of the Messenger ﷺ with the Quran is the role model for all of us, for every Muslim. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praised him, praised the Prophet ﷺ in the Quran, saying, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ, and indeed you are of a noble character. And as Aisha radiallahu anha said, the character of the Prophet ﷺ was the Quran, meaning that he used to implement the Quran. The Quran was manifested in the actions of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Actually, I found the sessions very, very, very nice. The Sheikh was, mashallah, great. Most of these things I already knew by reading the Sirah books, but actually hearing it from Sheikh Ibrahim al-Duwaish and the translation from Sheikh Isam gave me more information and more details, and combining that with the spiritual fact that Sheikh Ibrahim al-Duwaish has, that made it more effective. So yeah, that's basically, I benefited a lot from the session, and it was great.
Yeah, I thought the lecture was really well put together. We learned a few of the characteristics of the Prophet ﷺ. To name a few, we learned about his patience and love towards mankind. We learned, me personally, it really hit me hard when he spoke about actually living the lessons that we learn in the Quran, like everything we learn in the Quran and the Sunnah, actually implementing them into our lives. And I thought that was really well put together, and it hit me nice.
Mount Arafat is one of the most well-known sites to Muslims. Here, the group has the opportunity to walk in the footsteps of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. This area is infused with both historical and spiritual significance.
They're being filmed too, so sorry you're...
Has been killed. The Prophet ﷺ forgave. And he said, this is the Mount of Arafah, and here I stand, and وَعَرَفَ كُلُّهَا مَوْقِفٌ. All Arafah, wherever you stand, is a mawqif for you. And as I was talking,
The Arafat area is considered by Muslims worldwide as the place where during the obligatory pilgrimage, the Hajj, the angels bear witness of the servants of Allah, and those with sincere and righteous intentions will receive the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. During the Umrah, many of the faithful come to this spot to stand in awe and see what Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, saw at the advent of Islam, while our participants express this best.
They have some fevers with all these are
Anybody lost weight yet? I'm feeling it. Every step around here.
Alhamdulillah. That's why Hajj is good.
You're getting old, yes.
I have visited the Kaaba and I have performed Umrah many times before because I used to live here when I was young. But I haven't performed Umrah for 3 years right now. And when I first arrived here and entered the Kaaba, the Kaaba, what's special about it is that every time, even if you visit every week or every month, you will have emotions that goes through your body. You will have feelings toward that place, and that's why every Muslim on this planet loves this place, and they would like to come into this place as much as possible. So when I first arrived here last week, I entered the Kaaba. I had feelings all over my body. I stay as much as possible in that place so I can, because it's only 2 weeks right now, and 1 week is almost over. So yeah, I would like to stay there as much as possible.
Well, once again, it's so hard for me to even put it into words. It feels overwhelming, and I think it'll feel overwhelming until probably maybe a couple years down the road when I actually realize what we've been through. But just being there on the bus and going through the roads and seeing the sights, and just thinking in the back of your mind that we're not just driving through here. The companions of the Prophet ﷺ and the Prophet himself was here, and he walked through here, and he did all these rituals. That's what really hits you hard. And as we drove on the bus and we saw the different sites, and when we went to Mina and we saw all of the tents, it was just unreal seeing like the atmosphere and the struggle that they had to go through. It was just unbelievable, and it was just an experience that I'll never forget. And I hope that I come back here one day. But if in the event that I don't, I'll never forget it, and it'll be ingrained in my heart, inshallah, forever.
وكنت سعيدا جدا بهذا الشريك الذي نبهني إلى أشياء كثيرة عن الإسلام.
The group, both tired and elated, returned to the center to view old film clips of other groups who once made the long journey to Mecca. The evening ends with a series of education discussions from the respected sheikhs, some in Arabic, then translated into English. It is taught in Islam that the Holy Quran is to be read in its original Arabic. Every Muslim should attempt to read the most holy book in Islam in formal Arabic, as it was revealed to Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him.
أيها الإخوة ويا أيتها الأخوات القادمون من كندا السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
The Holy Quran has been translated into almost every other language, but its true essence cannot be understood fully except in its original form.
نلتقي بإخوتنا المسلمين القادمين من أقصى.
Many converts will take Quranic Arabic lessons, often provided by area mosques or masjids.
خلق الأزمان فاختار رمضان حتى أنزل فيه القرآن يخلق ما يشاء ويختار. خلق الليالي فاختار منها ليلة القدر حتى جعلها خيرا من 1000 شهر يخلق ما يشاء ويختار. خلق الأيام فاختار منها 10 ذي الحجة فضاعف الأعمال فيها يخلق ما يشاء ويختار خلق الأماكن.
Those who have converted to Islam or have been raised in Canada may not be familiar with Arabic, so all materials and lectures are translated into English.
To test and through him also to test others. You consider what was going on with man at that point. This Arab peninsula, just said that it is considered to be like a castle, surrounded by mountains, surrounded by...
In our next episode, A Tale of Two Cities, join us as the group visits the spectacular sights of Mecca.